Is Caitlin Clark about to destroy the entire WNBA with one signature? Because what just leaked from behind closed doors has the league in complete panic mode, and honestly, they should be terrified. Dave Portnoy just put $100 million on the table with Caitlin's name on it, and this isn't some publicity stunt or empty promise. This is a legitimate business offer that could end the WNBA as we know it. And after what Commissioner Cathy Engelbert allegedly said about Caitlin behind closed doors, she might actually take it. If you think the WNBA deserves what's coming after how they've treated their biggest star, smash that like button right now because this story is about to get absolutely wild. The offer Portnoy made isn't just about money, it's about respect, power, and giving Caitlin what she actually deserves instead of the scraps the league keeps throwing her way. Here's what nobody's talking about yet. Portnoy didn't just throw out a random number during some late-night podcast rant. He came prepared with an actual business plan, billionaire investors already lined up, and a vision that would make Caitlin Clark not just a player, but an owner of her own destiny. When he said he'd give her $100 million to start her own league, he wasn't joking around. He literally said if Caitlin would start her own league with him, he'd have as many billionaires as needed ready to invest. That's not talk, that's a revolution waiting to happen. But that wasn't the whole story that has everyone losing their minds right now. What really set this nuclear bomb off was when Nafisa Collier exposed a private conversation with Commissioner Engelbert that should have never seen the light of day. According to Collier, Engelbert actually told her that Caitlin Clark should be grateful for making $16 million off the court because without the WNBA platform, she wouldn't make anything. Let that sink in for a second. The commissioner of a league that was barely surviving before Caitlin showed up is taking credit for her success. That's like a drowning person taking credit for the lifeguard who saved them. The audacity gets even worse, though. Collier revealed that Engelbert also said players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal she got them. On their knees. Those were allegedly the actual words used. Can you imagine any other professional sports commissioner saying that about their athletes? The disrespect is so blatant, so shameless, that even casual fans are calling for Engelbert's immediate resignation. What happened next would shock everyone who's been following this drama. Portnoy didn't just criticize the commissioner's comments, he went full scorched earth. He pointed out something that everyone knows, but nobody in the league wants to admit. Before Caitlin Clark arrived, the WNBA was struggling to fill arenas and get TV ratings. He straight up said he wouldn't have known who A'ja Wilson was 2 years ago, and she's supposedly one of the league's biggest stars. But everyone knows Caitlin Clark. Your grandmother knows Caitlin Clark. Kids who don't even watch basketball know Caitlin Clark. The numbers back this up in ways that are honestly embarrassing for the league. Indiana Fever games with Caitlin were pulling ratings that matched or exceeded some NBA games. Think about that for a second. A rookie in the WNBA was outdrawing professional men's basketball teams. That's not normal growth. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. And the league acts like she should be grateful for the opportunity. Here's where things get really interesting, though. January 2025 has been rough for Caitlin with her dealing with injury issues that have kept her sidelined, giving her plenty of time to think about her future. And you know what injured superstars do when they're sitting at home watching their league's leadership disrespect them? They start considering their options. They start taking phone calls. They start wondering if maybe, just maybe, there's a better way forward. The timing of Portnoy's offer couldn't be more perfect or more dangerous for the WNBA. With Caitlin out nursing her injury, she's had time to see how the league operates without her on the court. The ratings have predictably tanked, the buzz has died down, and suddenly everyone's remembering what the WNBA looked like before she arrived. It wasn't pretty then, and it's not pretty now. But here's the part that should terrify Engelbert and every WNBA executive. Portnoy isn't the only one watching this unfold. Other billionaire investors are reportedly interested in backing a rival league if Caitlin decides to make the jump. We're talking about people with real money, real connections, and real frustration with how the WNBA has fumbled the biggest gift they've ever received. Think about what a Caitlin Clark-led league would look like. First off, players would actually get paid what they're worth. No more making $70,000 a year while generating millions in revenue. Portnoy mentioned players could make 5 times what they're making now. That's life-changing money for athletes who've been underpaid for decades. Second, the marketing would actually focus on the stars instead of whatever bizarre strategy the WNBA currently uses where they seem allergic to promoting their best players. The ripple effects would be catastrophic for the current league. If Caitlin leaves, she's not going alone. Angel Reese would probably follow because wherever Caitlin goes, the spotlight follows. Other young stars like Paige Buchers, who haven't even entered the league yet, might skip the WNBA entirely. Why would they sign up for disrespect and pennies when they could join Caitlin's league for real money and actual appreciation? What makes this even more explosive is that Sophie Cunningham, who just joined the Indiana Fever for 2025, has been openly supportive of players getting their worth. She's seen firsthand how the league treats its stars, and she's not afraid to speak up about it. Having someone like Sophie, who brings her own massive following and isn't afraid to challenge the status quo, in Caitlin's corner could be the push needed to make this rival league a reality. The WNBA's response to all of this has been predictably tone-deaf. Instead of addressing the concerns, instead of maybe apologizing for the disrespectful comments, they've gone silent. Radio silence while their biggest star contemplates walking away. It's like watching someone's house burn down while they pretend everything's fine. The denial is almost impressive if it wasn't so pathetic. Here's something else nobody's talking about. The infrastructure for a rival league already exists. The arenas are there, the broadcast capabilities are there, and, most importantly, the fan base is absolutely there. Caitlin Clark fans aren't WNBA fans, they're Caitlin Clark fans. They'll follow her wherever she goes, and that's a guarantee you can take to the bank. Portnoy even brought up how when Caitlin played in a celebrity golf tournament that wasn't supposed to be televised, fans demanded to see it so much that it ended up on TV. She hit someone with a golf ball and people still wanted to watch. That's not normal star power, that's transcendent appeal that comes along once in a generation. The financial math here is actually pretty simple. The WNBA's current media deal is worth about $60 million per year. Sounds decent until you realize that's split between 12 teams and hundreds of players. Now imagine a streamlined league with 8 teams, better revenue sharing, and Caitlin Clark as the face. That league could command similar or better numbers with fewer mouths to feed. Players could literally make 5 to 10 times their current salaries. But wait, it gets even better for potential investors. A new league wouldn't be bound by the WNBA's archaic rules and structures. They could innovate, experiment, and actually listen to what fans want. Shorter season? Done. Better playoff format? Absolutely. Actually marketing the players as individuals with personalities instead of just jersey numbers? Revolutionary concept, apparently. The precedent for this kind of league disruption exists too. Remember when the ABA challenged the NBA? Or when the AFL took on the NFL? Those leagues forced massive changes and eventually led to mergers that benefited everyone, especially the players. A Caitlin Clark league wouldn't just be competition, it would be an existential threat that forces real change. What's absolutely hilarious is that the WNBA created this problem entirely by themselves. They had the golden goose, the player who could transform women's basketball forever, and they decided to lecture her about being grateful instead of building the entire league around her. It's business malpractice at the highest level. The clock is ticking now. Every day Caitlin doesn't sign a long-term deal with the WNBA is another day she could be negotiating with Portnoy and his billionaire friends. Every disrespectful comment from league leadership pushes her closer to the exit. Every time they fail to market her properly or protect her from cheap shots on the court, they're basically writing her farewell speech for her. Here's the brutal truth that nobody in the WNBA wants to admit. Without Caitlin Clark, they go back to being a charity case propped up by the NBA. The ratings crater, the sponsors disappear, and suddenly they're back to playing in empty arenas, wondering where it all went wrong. Meanwhile, Caitlin's new league would instantly become must-watch TV, because that's where the star is, that's where the excitement is, and that's where the future of women's basketball would be. The most insane part of all this? It's completely preventable. All the WNBA has to do is show some respect, pay their stars appropriately, and stop acting like they're doing players a favor by letting them play. But based on Engelbert's alleged comments and the league's track record, they'd rather sink the ship than admit they were wrong. If you think it's time for Caitlin to take that $100 million and start fresh, drop a comment below because this might be the last chance to save women's basketball from itself. The revolution isn't coming, it's here, and it's got a 9-figure check with Caitlin Clark's name on it.